Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that every clock on Earth has vanished. Your phone is blank, your smartwatch is dead, the clock on your wall has stopped, and even the giant clock towers in every city have disappeared. You have no idea whether it's 6 in the morning or 6 at night. Do you know when to wake up, when to eat, when to work, or when to sleep? It sounds terrifying, but for almost all of human history, this was everyday life. Thousands of years ago, humans had no clocks, no watches, no calendars, and not even a way to count the hours. And yet they hunted enormous animals, crossed deadly deserts, sailed across open oceans, and built incredible civilizations. Somehow, they always seemed to know exactly when to move. How? The answer begins with something so ordinary that most of us never even think about it: the sun. Before we get there, let's travel back more than 10,000 years. Imagine you're an early human. You wake up inside a cold cave. Here is no alarm to wake you, no schedule to follow, no school to attend, and no job waiting for you. There is only one goal: survive. Outside, the world is dangerous. Hungry wolves roam the forests, massive bears search for food, and lions wait silently in the tall grass, watching for the perfect moment to strike. One wrong decision could cost you your life. Leave your shelter too early, and the freezing morning cold could kill you. Leave too late, and the scorching heat will drain your strength before the hunt has even begun. Then, as darkness falls, deadly predators become the rulers of the land. For ancient humans, time wasn't money. Time was survival. They needed to know exactly when it was safe to hunt, when to gather food, and when to return home before darkness arrived. There was one problem: time is invisible. You can't see it, touch it, or hear it. So how do you measure something that's impossible to observe? First, humans simply watch nature. Day after day, they not. It all began with a shadow. One day, an early human noticed something strange. A tree's shadow wasn't staying in one place. As the sun slowly moved across the sky, the shadow moved with it. First, it seemed like a meaningless detail, but after watching it for days, then weeks, and eventually months, they realized something extraordinary. The shadow followed the same pattern every single day. The longer the shadow, the earlier it was. Shorter the shadow, the closer it was to the middle of the day. Without realizing it, humans had discovered nature's second clock. Soon, people began placing simple wooden sticks into the ground just to watch their shadows move throughout the day. Those ordinary sticks would eventually become the world's first sundials. For the first time in history, people could estimate the passing of hours without relying on guesswork. It was one of humanity's greatest discoveries. But there was one major problem. Every evening, the sun disappeared. People memorized these patterns. When certain stars appeared, they knew the rainy season was approaching. When another constellation rose above the horizon, it was time to plant crops. And when different stars filled the sky, they knew winter was coming. Night sky became much more than something beautiful to admire. It became a giant calendar. It told people when to hunt, when to travel, when to harvest, and when to prepare for dangerous weather. The small villages grew into powerful cities. Simply watching the sun, moon, and stars was no longer enough. Without clocks, without computers, and without modern science, humans had learned to read the universe itself. Kings needed to organize thousands of workers. Farmers depended on accurate schedules. Merchants needed to know exactly when markets would open. Civilizations needed a way to measure time, even when the sun wasn't shining. That challenge would lead to one of the smartest inventions of the ancient world, an invention that measured time using nothing but water. First, that sounds impossible. How could water possibly tell the time? Thousands of years ago, it became one of the greatest inventions in human history. Ancient Egyptian, Greek, and Chinese civilizations created special containers with tiny holes at the bottom. As water slowly dripped out, they noticed something remarkable. If the hole remained the same size, the water flowed at nearly the same speed every time. That meant the amount of water left inside the container could reveal how much time had passed. These remarkable devices became known as water clocks. For the first time in history, people could measure time even after the sun had disappeared. No sunlight, no shadows, no problem. But perhaps the biggest surprise isn't how we learn to measure time. It's that time itself may not work the way we think. According to Albert Einstein, time doesn't pass at exactly the same rate everywhere. The faster you travel, the more slowly time passes for you. Even astronauts orbiting Earth experience time differently from people standing on the ground. In fact, the GPS on your phone only works because scientists constantly correct tiny differences in time predicted by Einstein's theory of relativity. Without those corrections, your GPS could be off by several kilometers in just a single day. It's incredible to think that everything began with one curious human looking at the sun and asking a simple question: what does this mean? That single question started a journey that transformed civilization forever. The next time you check the time on your phone, remember, you're looking at the result of thousands of years of human curiosity, observation, and invention. Because before clocks, before watches, before smartphones, there was only one thing guiding humanity: the sky above. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, if every clock in the world disappeared tomorrow, do you think you could survive for a week? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.